So getting back to kids programming, when I realized that this lack of female characters was because of unconscious bias, they didn't know they were leaving out that many female characters, I decided that I wanted the numbers. And so I commissioned the largest amount of research ever done on children's TV and movies, which now covers over 30 years, and the results were stunning. In a world that is literally half female, the message that children's media sent was that women and girls had far less value than men and boys. For every one female character, there were 3 male characters, speaking characters. And we also saw that when female characters did exist in children's media, they were often very narrowly stereotyped and very often hypersexualized. So think about it. I mean, what if we have been enculturating generation after generation to see groups with very few women as the norm? Could it be that the percentage of women in leadership positions in almost any sector of society stalls out at about 20–25% because of the vast amount of media that we have consumed have trained us to see that that's normal? By feeding kids a seriously unbalanced world from the beginning, we were unwittingly training them to have unconscious bias and to see that women and girls are less valuable than men and boys. But things are getting better. When I launched my institute 19 years ago, the number of popular family films that had a female lead character was 11%. Our current data shows that in the US, we have achieved parity in the lead characters, both in children's television and movies made for families. That's a big change. That's a big change. And our most recent findings show that we've also achieved parity in the world that the movie takes place in, the extras and the supporting characters. And we need to make sure that that sticks, of course. As far as occupations of female characters go, I should point out TV is doing a much better job than films. We can all think of shows where female characters have incredible professions and they're very good at things, but films are a completely different story. 81% of the characters who have jobs in films are male, and the function of female characters very often to serve as eye candy. One of the most troubling findings is that the percentage of fictional women in the workforce is even lower than the one that exists in real life. So, in other words, for example, for the legal sphere, in the legal sphere on screen, male judges and lawyers outnumber females 13-1. In computer science and engineering, the ratio of men to women was 15-1. So in other words, however abysmal the real life numbers are, it's far worse in fiction, where you make it up. It can be anything you want, and we choose to make it worse than the abysmal real life numbers. So there are differences also in the way certain occupations are represented. For example, when we looked at STEM careers, females in STEM careers were much more likely to be shown as having to give up their personal lives in order to succeed. And the characters often experienced in the movie, in the story of the movie, discrimination and experienced discrimination and faced hostility in the movie. Forget about it in real life. It was also included in the movies. Of course, we all know that there's far inadequate representation of people of color, LGBTQ characters, characters with disabilities, gender identity, body type, age, all of that, and mixes of all of that, intersectional